It's all popping off at Manchester United with all of the transfer news, and yet it is still quiet. You know, the one thing that Manchester United fans are waiting for is the Bryan Mbeumo, here we go. And then we want to know what the plans are for the other signings that we have as Man United fans. So, what do we know? What are the things that we have right in front of us? And what do we expect from the club moving forward? But it is what it is. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of kind of like all that we know with regards to transfers. We're basically just going to run through most of the most reliable sources possible. And we're just going to do like a quick transfer show, basically. And from thumbnail, you can tell that there's a whole lot that involves a lot of Man United players and all of that, despite the fact that there's some things with, Alejandro Garnacho, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw. I mean, Luke Shaw is another one that's gone under the radar, but there's not so much going on that front. But yeah, we're just going to try to touch a couple of news here. According to Laurie Whitwell, we'll start with Jonny Evans. According to Laurie Whitwell, he posted an exclusive. He says that Jonny Evans is set to stay at Manchester United after agreeing a new role on staff. Evans will look after youth loans, helping place players at clubs and offering them support through the process. This taps into his expertise as an academy graduate. So, which is good for Jonny Evans. He retires from Manchester United playing, and then he's now taking an official role, and that helps in his career to build him up and all of that. So, yeah, there's nothing much to react to that, but it's good for the club. It helps the young players to understand what it means to play for Manchester United from youth level to, getting to play professional, going out and coming back and all of that, right? Going out, coming back from, playing, at Manchester United, having 2 spells and winning trophies and all of that. So they'll pretty much be able to relate and understand what is going on. That is that about Jonny Evans. A lot of people have reported it and all of that. And then the next one is Mason Mount. Now, Mason Mount is not planning to leave Manchester United, according to Fabrizio Romano. Despite reports in recent hours, he's focusing on staying fit and also to do preseason work at his and basically work at his best and stay and work with Ruben Amorim for a full season at least. And there's also news and reports that Manchester United, Ruben Amorim likes Mason Mount. So it is something to look out for and to kind of tell and know that, okay, basically we're heading in this direction with Mason Mount. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this one. And that's about Mason Mount. The next one is for Jadon Sancho. Now, Jadon Sancho, Fenerbahce are pushing to sign Jadon Sancho and are prepared to pay the Manchester United winger over £8.5 million in salary, which works out at around £165,000 a week. And Jose Mourinho has held a direct call with the player, according to Ben Jacobs. So with Ben Jacobs, I can believe that because he always comes up with, like, he's in smashing it basically in with regards to transfer news and stuff. And then still on the Jadon Sancho situation, Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that Juventus are prepared to offer Dusan Vlahovic and Douglas Luiz, who's 27, as part of a swap deal with Manchester United for Jadon Sancho. So that's another one. And it is pretty interesting to hear and know what Manchester United fans think about this one. I heard and saw that Jadon Sancho is Fenerbahce are going to offer Manchester United £50 million for Jadon Sancho, or 50 million euros. I was like, that's too little. That's like loads of reports all over the place. But it is what it is. If we can get 25-30 million pounds from Jadon Sancho, that would be good. We won't make a loss on the books, and that would be like wage bill, reduced and stuff. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this one. Where do you think Jadon Sancho should go? I've also heard rumors that Napoli are interested in offering Jadon Sancho a contract and all of that. And then Another one is, according to Francisco Di Marzio, he says that Manchester United inquired about Moise Kean on Saturday. So that one, I don't know. He's been up and around a whole lot with regards to, you know, different clubs. Played at Juventus. He's playing at Fiorentina currently. He's played at a couple of Italian clubs as well, and he hasn't done so good or so bad with regards to him as a player. If we had to check his stats and stuff, we could tell maybe he's probably, not pulled down trees or something. If we were to go by that. So for Moise Kean, for Fiorentina, basically he's 25 years old, so he should be coming to around his peak. And he has, with his stats, he basically played 2710, that's 22,710 minutes all through last season for just the Serie A. He scored 19 goals, he has 3 assists, decent. Started 31 games and played 32 matches in total. So, pretty decent forward. With regards to goals, 19, expected goals, 19.32, so he kind of underperformed but did really, really well by a fraction. And then also expected goals on target, he has 21.6, penalty goals 1, non-penalty goals 17.75, 105 shots in total, shots on target 51, and he has 3 assists as well. Expected assists was 1.08, smashed that. Successful passes 224, accurate long balls 9, and then successful dribbles he has 44, 47.3% dribble success, amongst other things. So basically, across his career as a whole, from Juventus, he started from the Juventus Academy, and then in Juventus in 2017 to 16-17, 4 goals, 1 assist. He went to Hellas Verona, 20 goals, 4 assists. Juventus again, back from loan, 17 goals, 7 assists. He came and played for Everton to 37. Oh, no. So Juventus, he played 4 games, 1 goal. Hellas Verona, 20 games, 4 goals. Juventus, again, back from loan, 17 games, 7 goals. And then he went to Everton, 19-20. He played 37 games, 4 goals. And then for Paris Saint-Germain, he went to Paris Saint-Germain on loan from Juventus. And then he played 41 games, 17 goals. And then Everton, back from loan, 20 games, 2 games, 0 goals. And then went to Juventus on loan again. And then he played, I think he was signed at Everton and then went to Juventus on loan. Played 82 games, 14 goals. Then Juventus again, 23-24. He was signed. He played 20 games, no goals. And then he was sold to Fiorentina in 2024. He played 44 games, 25 goals. So he never really scored over 20 goals in any season. And he's had a really, 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 really bad run of scoring goals. Maybe he was saying he's coming to his peak because he played 44 times since July 2024 and he scored 25 goals. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not really into the Moise Kean situation, but yeah, what can we say? We have to just kind of see how it goes and then give you kind of like an update when it comes. And that is all about Moise Kean. Furthermore, with other Manchester United news, there's other conversations according to Ryan Taylor Sport, where he says Man United have held talks with the representatives of Club Brugge over Adon Jashari, who is valued at £34 million, and AC Milan are currently leading the race following an opening bid of £25-26 million. Then, Jashari is not a player that I've really watched, but I think he did well for Club Brugge, and if you look at his stats, he did well last season. It's kind of like a midfielder that Manchester United are interested in. And then, another one is with regards to, according to Ben Jacobs, and probably the United Stands FC, Man United don't want a permanent exit where they make a book loss if they sign a starting striker, then later on it could be the situation where Rasmus drops down the pecking order and a late loan could happen. So in other words, Rasmus Højlund is basically on sale. That is what they're saying. And Inter Milan are in negotiations with Rasmus and and Manchester United. This is according to Fabrizio Romano. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll just kind of bring it to you when the news breaks and stuff. And obviously, with Casemiro, Al Nassr are close to signing Casemiro, and negotiations are at an advanced stage. This according to Sports Jazeera and Hamad 1717. Fabrizio Romano came out and said something different, and said basically talks are not really at an advanced stage, but if Casemiro goes, and then somebody did some kind of like an analysis, Casemiro goes, it takes off the wage bill, and then it allows us to lump that. So I think that's Ben Jacobs. It allows us to move that same money into signing a striker. And there's news that Man United want a striker, and to complete the Bryan Mbeumo deal, and to also get an athletic midfielder. And people have been suggesting Paleba. People have been suggesting I think Richard Rios or something, the guy at Palmeiras, and all of that. There's loads of players people are suggesting to fit that bill and all of that. And they said Christopher Vivell is on it. And with regards to, the Bryan Mbeumo deal, I brought this one to you yesterday, but I'm just going to run through it. According to Laurie Whitwell, who was quoting Ben Jacobs, Manchester United submitted an improved bid for Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo, more than 60 million in total. Now, talks have been ongoing, and Manchester United hope for a resolution in the near future. Preseason starts on July 7th, and Man United want to pretty much complete the deal, basically, with regards to the plan for preseason, right? And then with regards to Alejandro Garnacho, because that guy has stirred the pot on social media, and that is that Manchester United, according to Laurie Whitwell, have informed interested clubs that Alejandro Garnacho's fee would be £70 million. So, what do you guys think about this one? Too high, or just about the price? Because in truth, a lot of other players who are not as good as Garnacho, if I would say that, do not go for this amount. And Garnacho is obviously worth it because he's just 20 and he's certainly going to improve, right? So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this one. Alejandro Garnacho to be sold for 40 million. And I hear that Napoli are circling. I hear that Chelsea are circling as well. And to be available for 70 million pounds, that's interesting. And moving on from Garnacho, according to Ebola, Manchester United are very interested in Porto keeper Diogo Costa. And he wants the transfer to happen, obviously, but that would depend on a lot of things. That would depend on so many other things, including basically Andrew Onana leaving and all of that. So it depends on a lot of things. Still on the Sancho situation, Jose Mourinho and Jadon Sancho had a direct call already. Mourinho is trying to convince Sancho to join Fenerbahce. Both Fenerbahce and Napoli are exploring a move for the player, and Manchester United won £25 million. And this is according to Ben Jacobs. So there's a whole lot, with all of that. And it's pretty interesting hearing all of this. Jadon Sancho would like to, if possible, stay in English football. This is according to still the same Ben Jacobs, or return to Dortmund. However, they are focused on other targets, like Saudi Pro League interest is also there, and Al Ahly and Al Qadisiyah also showing most intrigue, basically, with regards to Jadon Sancho. And then Laurie Whitwell was also reporting a few other things, like with the transfer deal sheet, according to The Athletic, when he said Onana is in touch with Mbeumo over United move, Garnacho's London preference amid Chelsea interest, and then Rashford still targeting Barca move, and club wants sale or loan, over loan, right, over a loan deal. So it is what it is. There's a whole lot that's going on. With the Casemiro situation, Casemiro is very aware that the Saudi Pro League wants him after previous approaches. However, at the moment, it's described as a soft contact. So it's if the player has changed his mind, no club has been allowed allocated to him. So according to Ben Jacobs as well. So there's a whole lot, and then there's news surrounding what's his name, Kobe Mainoo. There's news around whether he's to go or he's to stay. But according to Ben Jacobs as well, Kobe Mainoo wants to stay at Manchester United, and Ruben Amorim likes him. I would love for Kobe Mainoo to thrive at Man United. I would love for him to grow as a player. I would love for him to evolve, and I would love for him to kind of do stuff and kind of show what he's made of. He's that midfielder. I also think that last season he was a bit tired. You know, he played so many games the previous season under Erik ten Hag, and then by the time he got to November 2025, he basically just kind of tired out. So it will be interesting to see where Ruben Amorim deploys him. And I was worried because there was no place. It looked like there was no place in the squad for him because Ruben Amorim tried him as one of the 2-6s. It really didn't work per se because he needed an athletic and a defensive player. Then he tried him as one of the 2-10s. It worked out, but not so much. And then tried him as a false 9. He worked out, scored a couple of goals, but then he became an impact sub. He scored that goal against Lyon and all of that. So there's a whole lot that needs to be that needs to go into this, and there's a whole lot that needs to be discussed with regards to Kobe Mainoo. But I'm seeing like ex-players like Gary Neville saying that Man United don't need to sell Kobe Mainoo. We need to let him thrive and grow, and it would be a stretch if we sold him and all of that. So it all depends on a whole lot of things. And then there's another one that's been circling, and it's been going on for a bit, basically. So Chelsea and Manchester United are considering the possibility of an Alejandro Garnacho and Christopher Nkunku swap, according to the Daily Telegraph. Yes, this one has been going on for a bit, and in truth, I'm not really a fan of this. I'm not really a fan of Nkunku because I thought he was a good player way before he came to Chelsea, and then when he came to Chelsea, it felt like he wasn't just making anything, and he was so injury prone, so he wasn't making anything happen per se. But to hear that Man United want a deal to swap Garnacho for Nkunku, I'm not really into the Nkunku guy, because if I'm going to look at his stats, he only really did well at RB Leipzig. Apart from that, he's just been an okay player. And if he didn't do well at Chelsea where there's less pressure, then there's more pressure at Manchester United, and he's definitely going to struggle. So what do you guys think about the Nkunku deal? I wouldn't go for it. Would rather Alejandro Garnacho is sold, and then we don't get Nkunku back. We get maybe someone else, or even bring up. I won't be opposed to bringing up an academic graduate. Trust me, like Ethan Whitley. He's pulling trees as well, still young, can grow, can evolve, he's strong, and all of that. We have his athleticism as well as Chido Obi. And then we have Rasmus and Xerxes. I know my United fans are not going to be happy about this, but when you have Mbeumo, you have Cunha who can play, especially Cunha who can play in that position, and have Amad who can play as a 10. And then we have multiple roles to fill, like one athletic midfielder and all that. Yeah, speaking of athletic midfielders, in the defensive midfield position, I hear and I see that Man United are possibly interested in Wilfred Ndidi. That took a long time coming. He's 27 years old, 27 years old. Leicester City Nigerian international. He is worth around 9 million, and they said 9 million pounds for his release clause. And they say Manchester United are interested, and he could be an option if we don't get some of our targets. I'm not opposed to Wilfred Ndidi, albeit he struggled with injuries lately. He struggled with a whole lot of injuries back and forth. He hasn't played. He played a full season with Leicester City when they were in Championship, but when he came to the Premier League, he kind of struggled a little bit because he had injuries. I think he had that knee injury as well, and he had the muscle injury as well. And then obviously the managers didn't use him per se. So it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about all of these transfer news. We will try as much as possible bringing you more reliable ones on a daily. But let me know your thoughts and feelings about these ones. Who do you think Manchester United should go for? And how do you think we can proceed with the transfer window as we approach a few days to preseason training that starts on the 7th or the week of the 7th of July? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much for helping us grow as a community. We're evolving. We're really growing slowly and getting to places. Like, let me know what you think we can bring to you as fans, as a fan channel. We're a growing fan channel. And thank you so much for those who have liked, shared, subscribed, those who have reached out as well. I really appreciate you. We'll keep growing. We'll keep evolving together. Very, very soon we'll start doing a lot of conversations and debates with other fans to kind of make it all engaging and all encompassing. As of now, it still looks like we're doing it together, but then as a monologue and stuff. But we're going to kind of evolve into interviewing other people. But let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.